Welcome to Storytime with ETC. My name is Alanna Percival, and I am your host today. And I'm joining you all with this amazing author, Ruth Osgood. And she is the author of this book here, The Placement. I'm so excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much, Ruth, for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is a first.
Yes, how are you excited? Are you nervous? What's
Um, I'm like a cocktail of excitement and nervous, so ex nervous.
Ex nervous? I like it. Getting into this, I have a few questions for you going into this. My first ever author interview, which is a segment that I'm really excited to start because I love stories and I think everyone has a story. And you've written your story here, which I have been reading, and it's very well done.
Oh, thank you.
How long did it take you to write the placement from start to finish? First idea to this final product that I have here.
Oh, since 2008.
2008. Wow.
Yeah, I literally finished school and like no lessons, no nothing. And I was like, oh, okay, school's done. What do I do now? And I've always wanted to be a writer. So I thought if I wanted to be a writer, I've got to take this seriously. And that's what I did. I just sat down, had a book, and I just jotted down random ideas. And that's how it started.
I love that. I love that so much. And it all came together beautifully with the placement. I think I'm on page 170 or something like that, like chapter
Ooh,
17, I think it is.
yeah,
So
you're.
I'm pretty excited because I've found out something. So spoiler free. Follow-up question: was this your first attempt at writing a novel, or had you written others before?
I had dabbled in other genres. I mean, I did a full on story. It felt more like a challenge just to prove myself that I can go through planning, plotting, and actually having a draft. And I did it and I loved it.
Very cool. I love that. And I like the fact that you used it as a writing challenge, but also as a completed project as well. So it really showed
Yeah.
you what the beginning to ending would look like. Um, what first sparked your desire to become a writer?
I've always loved reading, so writing just seemed like the most logical step. These guys, these authors that I loved had a story to share, and I thought, maybe I have a story as well to share. So
I love
that's
that.
how that happened.
Was there a particular moment or book that lit the fire under you?
That was William Nicholson's Wind Singer. Sorry, it was a book I read in school. And back in the early noughties, it was all like male protagonists. Like you had Harry Potter, Percy
Yeah.
Jackson, Aragon. And The Wind Singer was about this girl who just didn't like society. And even though she put her family in danger, she decided to go out and change it. And I was like, I need more of that in my life.
Yeah. I've noticed it's really funny that you say that because you're right. Back in like the 80s and the 90s, all of the protagonists in books were always male. And
Mm,
but now as I'm seeing, there's a lot of female protagonists, female main characters that are kind of taking over the world and in a beautiful way. I really like
yeah.
your main character, Wren, is such a relatable main character, especially for me because I was a bit of a hooligan growing up. So
Yeah.
I love the hooligan style of Ren. May but not be the best word, but like she has such a fire within her, and you can really see that in every sentence she says, all the different activities that she
Yeah.
gets into. So I've really loved how you've written your female main character. Um, for those of you who are just hearing about the placement, can you give a spoiler-free look into the story and what readers would expect in the world you've created?
Oh, sure. Wren Kipling gets a little more than what she bargained for when, after a night of petty revenge, goes explosive, as you can see
Yes.
from the cover. The readers can expect plenty of twists and turns, action. Also, if you're looking for something that is fresh and is not jumping on bandwagons, I'd suggest pick up the placement.
It definitely does not jump on any band
No,
wagons. It's very
bland wagons.
bland wagons. Freudian slip right there. And but like I was reading through this, and while I was reading it, I was sending you my little thoughts of where things were going to go throughout getting through
Yeah.
the book. I'm sure as an author was that exciting to see where someone's mind was going as they were reading it for the first time.
yeah, I couldn't help smile. And it's like it's crazy how other people's mind works because I'm thinking, is this too predictable? They're gonna get it. But when you're sending me like you're hoping Ren and the detective are gonna team up, and I was like, she has no idea.
They're going to team up. You're like, no,
No,
honey.
no, you're wrong. Absolutely no.
And then like I got like a little bit longer into the chapter, and then I was like, never mind, I hate this person.
Yes, well, that's out the window then.
That's all out the window. No, so I really love because it wasn't predictable. It kept you on your seat. It kept you guessing. You wanted to get to the next page. It really is a page turner because it's still within almost like a day in the life kind of experience, but it's a page turner at the same time. You don't ever get bored of what you're reading, of what you're listening to, and you want to keep going with it. I say listening to because I definitely listen to the Microsoft Word read it out to me at
Yeah.
times. And it definitely keeps you engaged. Um, if you were to play book bingo, what genre elements does the placement play with? Dystopia, fantasy, romance, young adult, etc.
I'd say mystery, thriller, murder-ish, espionage with a sprinkle of punk rock.
I love that. That's perfect. That's so perfect. Going into this with your creative influences, do you have any authors or books that have influenced your voice or storytelling?
It's got to be Darren Shan, and on two levels. One, he's a writing machine. He can churn out books. He can just turn out a load of books, and it's impressive. You know, you blink, he's got 5 books. You blink again, he's got 10 books for you. So it's like I don't know how he's doing it. Also, two, it's clear that he adores his fans. So that's what I aspire to be. Just appreciate the people that make you. Really, you can write a story, but it's the audience that read it. So you got to appreciate them and recognize them.
Absolutely. Any young adult books you feel paved the way for your writing? I know you had mentioned a book earlier that you really enjoyed.
Yeah, it has to go again to the Wind Singer. That really that opened my eyes. Think, oh yeah, girls can be kick ass. They can do things that normally are for male protagonists.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the one that really opened my eyes for female protagonists was there's actually a book series called Alanna. And I
Oh,
went to it because it was the same name as me for
oh yeah.
and it was the first time I'd seen a female main character protagonist, and it was beautiful. I loved
Oh.
it.
Isn't it nice to think, oh my god, we can do things.
We
We're
can,
not we're
yes,
not damsel in distress as people. We can do things.
absolutely. When we go back to the bland wagon, a lot of the female main characters, especially in like romance novels and stuff like that,
Mm,
tend to be the damsel in distress who suddenly has to become a heroine. So it was
yeah.
nice to see your main character not being a damsel whatsoever.
No, she can hold her own. She's all right.
Yeah, she's all right. I like her. I would worry if she was my daughter, but I like her.
Yeah, yeah. I don't recommend acting like Ren, but but you have to root for Ren at the end of the day.
Exactly. Every writer has that one character that they're obsessed with. Who's your favorite in the placement and why?
Oh, I'm going to be biased and say Ren again. She was I enjoyed writing her. Um, not to be vain or anything. I think readers are going to enjoy seeing her grow. She has flaws. As we mentioned, she's a bit of a punk. She's got attitude. But I think readers will connect with her. She's either them or someone they know.
Yeah, I agree. She's definitely either them or someone they know because I can relate so many of my friends or even my son's friends to Ren
Yeah.
um, because she has a very relatable personality persona to her. Was it easy to write Ren or did she surprise you on how she developed?
I think both. For Ren, I really look back on my school days of how children reacted. School's a whole like jungle of, personalities. You get good kids, you get bad kids. I think Ren's in between that. Um, but Ren wasn't like that at all in my first draft. She was very stiff, so it was nice to see her all loose.
Goosey goosey. I like it.
Yeah.
One of the words that Ren uses often is bozo.
Mm.
Where did that word come from for you?
I say it myself. If I'm really annoyed, like I call my sister a bozo.
I love that. I definitely, when I read it, I got Chef Ramsay vibes right off the
Oh
bat.
yeah.
So I instantly fell in love with Wren with that reason as well. Going into this, you chose to go the independent publishing route for your debut novel. What led to that decision?
I think it had to be the control. When I was looking into traditional publishing, I was hearing horror stories like you people spend years getting an agent. And then even if you get an agent, it's not a guarantee you're going to be published. And even if you get a publisher, it's not guaranteed you're going to be published either way. So I thought I'm just going to cut out these people and do it myself.
That's perfect. That makes complete sense. Follow-up question with that one. Were you ever tempted by the traditional route of publishing, or was indie always a goal?
I was tempted because with agents and publishers, they know what they're doing. I don't. So I gave myself a year because the second I decided I was going to go self publishing, it was like all the lights turned off. I didn't know where I was going, what direction to go, but I gave myself that time and took little baby steps.
Perfect. Yes. What are some of the challenges that you have faced as an indie author, especially for a first timer?
Marketing, being a no one, you got to really sell yourself. So I started up on Facebook, but only family and friends are on there. It took a while for me to go to TikTok, where my friend kept poking me, and then he was like, "You got to go on TikTok. That's where everyone is." So I eventually went on TikTok, and glad I did because that's how I met you. And I've been forced to eat crow because it's actually been pretty good for me.
That's that's fair. Actually, I've noticed a lot of authors are on TikTok, and that's where a lot of the book community is
Mm,
really conglomerating.
yeah,
I like your verbiage there, to eat crow. I haven't heard that in a very long time, actually.
it's the writer in me.
The right- I love it. Any moments that have really made this all feel real for you?
When I held my book for the first time, because it was always up here on my computer screen, but to actually feel it and touch it's like, oh, I did that. That's my brain baby. Oh, and there it is.
It's definitely really cool to be able to touch and feel your book for the first time. I love the feel of a book. There's something about it that's different than an ebook or different than having it on a Kindle, because you're like the weight of it. It's like, this is mine. I created
Yeah.
this.
It's also personal as well. It's just you and a book. So it's
Yeah,
just no one can take that away from you.
exactly.
Like on a Kindle, it'll ask you to update. You're like, no, I just want to read the
I
book,
just
man.
want to read it. I don't want to
Plus, the Kindle
update.
doesn't give you the book smell. You need the book smell. You need the
Books
full
now.
experience.
Exactly. How can listeners support you and get their hands on the placement?
In terms of support, you can buy the book. That's the biggest support you can. You can also follow me on my Facebook and TikTok. I'm more active there. And if you do happen to buy the book, I'd appreciate a review or sharing friends, family, people that you feel like you know that would love the book. It all helps.
And it's available on Amazon for purchase. That is
Yeah.
do you have it available at any other locations, like a website, or just Amazon right now?
Just Amazon for now.
What's next for you? Are you already thinking about your next book or a sequel to The Placement?
The placement is 4 or 5 books long. I haven't decided on the final number yet, but I'm thinking it might be 5, but don't quote me on that.
I
I'm
won't quote you on
currently
that.
I'm currently 2000, no, 20,000 words in the sequel. So I'm hoping to get the first draft done by June.
Wow.
And then it all, like getting a front cover, getting it edited, it all happens again.
And then you just wash and
Yeah.
rinse and repeat and
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully this time a little easier as I do now have a bit of an audience. So I
yeah.
won't be as like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
That's something that having TikTok has been very helpful for with the book community, has been not even just getting an audience to engage with, but also getting that help from other indie authors who are going
Yeah,
through the same processes, and you can learn from mistakes that they have made along the way.
yeah.
Final question for you. I know it's coming to the end of the interview quite quick.
It's gone really quick actually.
Went really fast. We ask every guest this: if you could give us one piece of advice to an aspiring indie author out there, what would your piece of advice be?
The biggest advice is hydrate. You're working overtime on your creative thinking, and your brain needs to cool. Also, be kind to yourself. Writing can be a cruel mistress. Some days are harder than others. But whatever you don't figure out today, you will tomorrow.
I like that. That's beautiful. Beautifully said. Well, I wanted to thank you, Ruth, for being with us and coming to Storytime with ETC and being a part of our now community on Storytime with ETC. You have been our first author interview on the channel, which I'm super excited about because I'm very passionate about books. I'm very passionate about stories, regardless of the story. I think we all have one to tell. And I wanted to ask you. Um, if there is anything else you would like to tell our readers about the placement before we close out.
Not about the placement, but I want to give a huge shout out to Rhiannon Kago, the artist of the book cover. I feel like her art needs to be recognized here. I mean, it's beautiful, you know.
It is very beautiful. I've actually been admiring the art that was on your cover, and I saw that you had hired an artist to do the cover versus doing I've seen some books that have been out there now are using AI covers
No,
or
no.
stock images and different things like
Yeah.
that. So I was very happy to see that you got a artist here. And Rian, was her name Rhiannon?
Rhiannon Kago. And
Rhiannon.
it's all digital, not a pixel on that cover, except for the titles, obviously.
I love that. Yes, here we go. On the back of your book, I saw here we have
Yeah.
for Rhiannon just with this little shout out for her. So if you are able to scan that QR code, if it works through my screen, then go ahead and do so because she's amazing.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. I'm so happy. Like, I wish I could say that I did that, but no. That's just like everyone who's seen it's just going, oh my God, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I really love the fact that it was hand done. That was something that really stood out to me was the hand
Mhm.
drawn aspect of it, and I thought that that really suits the storyline that we're reading. It suits the book itself, being a young adult, and it
Yeah.
really also suits you as the author because I know that you are very against AI, especially in the
Oh,
create.
no. Yeah, no.
So that was something that I thought really expresses the placement in
Yeah.
the all the best ways.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I just also want to say to everyone that today is May 5th, and today the book, The Placement, is officially available on Amazon. So if anyone is wanting to go and pick up their very own copy of The Placement, it's available today on Amazon. Just look up The Placement by Ruth Osgood and follow Ruth on TikTok. You can see her journey, especially as she gets the next 3 to 4 books out of The Placement because we're not holding her to five, but
No,
see where the story writes itself, where it tells itself to go, where Ruth then brings this into this world. I can't wait to see what's happening. So I wanted to say thank you so much, Ruth, for being with us on Storytime with ETC and for telling us about your new book, The Placement.
thank you for having me. This has actually been really fun. I
Awesome.
was
I'm glad.
so nervous, like, oh God, but I think I did okay.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Ruth, and I hope you have a
You're
great day.
welcome.